and then to have to tell your wife no, it just doesn't feel good having those conversations. So no, it wasn't fun.
No.
But hey.
Obviously, you look a little different. You decided to cut your hair. What made you want to do this fresh new look?
I think it was just getting back into like changing things up a little bit, and the hair was just one that it was an easy fix for me. I wanted to do it for a while. We wanted to, make a whole thing about it, do a charity for it. And then one day I just was like, honey, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And it was amazing. It feels great.
I love that. What was Summer's reaction? Because you always see those videos when like dads like shave their mustache or cut their hair. They're like, who is this person?
I was really hoping for a bigger reaction from her, but she looked at me for a second and she went, hair. And then she put her hand out and said, come on, daddy. And as if like, okay, cool. Now come play with me. So it was a standard reaction by her.
I love that. So cute. I know that she just turned 2. You guys had the most adorable birthday party for her. But how would you describe her personality now? Because now that she's kind of really coming into her own. So how would you describe her personality?
I think Summer is me and Scheana smile every time because she's literally lightning in a bottle, and she's pure love, and it's great to see because you're fruits of your labor, right? We have tireless nights, and now being like a full-time parent, I take my hat off to those full-time mums or dads that stay at home. It's effort, but it's well received, and it's amazing to see her learn. It's amazing her to when she says thank you without us say thank you. It's just like, oh my God, it's working. So it's great. She's lightning in a bottle.
I love that. What is your favorite part about being a dad?
I think that's it. Not knowing what adventures we're going to go on. I think this time around, obviously this is my second time, but I'm in a different position in my life. I can be very present. And so hopefully that carries over to when we build on relationship with my other 2, and I can carry that over there. But I'm committed to it. Being a parent is amazing. It's the best. Now I've never worked before, even with Homebody. It was such a passion for me to work. Now, like to do it, it was never considered a job. Now anything without my child is a job. I think I see it as work, and I'm gonna go in there and get it done and do my best. And then when I come home, be present.
I love that. What is, because you opened up a lot about your other children, last season of the show. What is your relationship like with them now, and has anything changed?
Yeah, it's definitely this. It's still the same area. It doesn't come down to like what I want at this point in time. It's what's good for the kids.
Yeah.
And they're in a stable environment with their dad and their mom and their little sister. And so in time, I'm hoping, we can continue having the doors open, and then they'll come in and we can communicate it. So we're there, we're ready for it. But it's going to take a lot of time, And so I understand that now, and they're just going to be ready when they're there.
Definitely. How would you say that Summer has brought you and Scheana even closer together?
Look, I think Summer has just reminded us. It brings out our flaws 100% because you're on, the zero stress, and then all of a sudden, so she brings out the worst but the best in us because we get the worst out of it, but we bond over the best moments. So it's been great.
Definitely.
Good balance.
I know that Scheana's, you guys have kind of talked about maybe expanding your family in the future. She definitely had a rough pregnancy, a rough delivery, but where are you guys in the stages of those conversations?
We're going to table that, I think, just because of what we went through. I think next period, no pressure on it. I think we're just enjoying this next year of really building up what our family is going to be going forward.
I love that. And, you're coming up on 1 year of, official marriage that we've seen. I know you guys have been married a little bit longer, but was that so hard for you to keep a secret?
No, because I look at this whole marriage thing a little bit differently because it's not the traditional days where, you met somebody and you got married and that was your life partner, right? Nowadays, it's definitely more of like, it's so crazy to say that, but it's definitely more of like, just like, oh, we got married. For us, we were committed with each other, and to tell it and to show everybody, which was the best part. It was like, yeah, we have been committed and we are committed. So each year gets better and better. When you start off in a relationship, you're like, oh, we're dating and we've been together for a year, 2 years, we're going to 4 years. It gets better and better each year.
That's good. And, at least Vanderpump said at the reunion, they got married because of the green card. Is that true?
No, it wasn't true, but I'm telling you right now, if anyone that's a foreigner in America that doesn't have a green card, we know what it's like to want to have a green card. And I'm not going to lie to you and say it's not a positive, because it's 100% a positive. And I think half of America needs to realize how beautiful this country is and take that and stop taking it for granted. So you know what? Yeah.
What would you say is the most challenging part of the first year for marriage for you?
Honestly, I think it was the first year of our relationship instead of a marriage part, because we went in halfway through our relationship, we ended up going to a pandemic, and that just changed the whole dynamic for everybody. And so that was the birth of actually Homebody. So it was great to kind of go through that together. The challenging part was just trying to understand each other's wants and needs. And, you know, a pandemic gave us nothing but time to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. You know, what I loved about this past season is we got to see you and Lala forge this friendship that I absolutely love. You guys have come a long way. I mean, what is it like to have her in your corner and have your daughters growing up together?
That's all I want, you know. All I want is the best thing for my kid. If that means, you know, just taking a chill pill and just like understanding that bygones being bygones and move on, we can do that. I think Lala says it the best. Like, that's the past, and you're 100%. The past is the past, the present is present, and the future you can change. Mm-hmm. Nothing else you can. So seeing it through that lens and seeing the kids together is the greatest. We don't have a little one yet, but those two girls, I've never had that. I've never had consistency in my life. And so the one thing I want for my kids is to have consistency. And she lives next door at our house now. So like we're not going anywhere anytime soon. I
love that so much. I always love seeing the photos of you all together. It's so nice. You know, obviously we're coming off of a big reunion. We have one more part of this reunion, but it was really hard to watch Scheana's reaction and breaking down during the reunion about the restraining order and things like that. How did that, you know, really affect her, you know, behind closed doors, behind cameras?
I think Scheana did an absolutely great job expressing herself, because in the house, there was that tension. And for Scheana, you know, to have to deal with the friend loss, the betrayal, and the fact that, and she said it, like she was there supporting this woman the whole summer, and everyone was, the whole group was. But then to lose a friend like Sandoval, the betrayal, then to be there for Ariana, it definitely was a lot. And then you throw on a domestic violence order like on that. It's not the fact that went through the court and that was okay was ridiculous. The fact that she never rocked up to court proves that it just puts it in perspective of like what that actually was. And it's the problem with that is it doesn't help anybody else that actually needs that system, and it doesn't. And so, yeah.
What was your reaction to watching Raquel having little to no emotion watching that back?
Well, I guess we all saw that for the first time, right? And to hear Scheana open up and then to see everyone's reaction, read a room. I was watching it through a TV. She was watching it through a TV. You didn't have to be in the room to feel that pain that she was going through. And, you know, we all saw her reaction, and it just kind of like put it in terms. I was like, she really has no idea. I don't think she understood what the impact that she's done or has done. And, you know, it's wild.
Yeah. Do you think that she cares?
I don't think it's about caring. I think she just is unaware. She's very unaware, very, very unaware. That's it.
Yeah. How do you feel about her now?
I was always on the fence with her, because I always felt sorry for how she had having abandonment issues from birth. I definitely think growing up with your mother giving you to her sister and being raised in that environment definitely has to have something going on in the brain. It has to have something there that lingers. But at what point do you need to grow up and be an adult or handle situations better? So for me, you know, I don't know how I deal with it, but I don't condone that. I always everyone deserves always a second chance, but they just both need to keep their mouth quiet, do the right thing for a long time.
Right. Seriously. Did you notice those same warning signs at your wedding, or were you ever suspicious? Did you ever raise eyebrows about their relationship?
No, I think we were all very much kind of, you know, because it's all perspective, right? And we all saw the show from a different lens once that came out. And so perspective-wise, we didn't see it. We just saw friends being friends. Has
she reached out to either one of you since all of this?
No, and I don't expect her to. I think she definitely has to do a lot of reflection before she tries to mend any fences.
Mm-hmm. You know, your name got thrown into the mix that you and Raquel like hooked up back in the day. What was your reaction to that?
Mate, I was too busy creating Homebody, building a company, and then selling it. I have no time. It's just when that came out, it was very kind of like hot. It was upsetting because like friends of ours were reaching out, like, "Are you okay?" to Scheana, and I was like, "I know they're caring out for you, honey, but they do realize like this is this is the problem with the audience and social media, is these things can just come out because someone wants to say something, and there's people on the receiving end of it. That was our relationship. Didn't add to any of it. Didn't help. So it wasn't fun to deal with it, even though Scheana and I knew it. This question was still getting asked. Did anything happen? And then to have to tell your wife no, it just doesn't feel good having those conversations. So no, it wasn't fun. No. But hey.
Do you feel like maybe Scheana and maybe even you two, like, is it ever like now your guard is up when it comes to making, having new friends? Because, you guys trusted her so much that Scheana even said that she would trust you in bed with Raquel. I mean, is now like maybe guard up a little bit?
No, I think I love the fact that Scheana and I are very open and warm to people. That's just who we are. And you've seen for 10 seasons of Scheana getting walked over because she's consistently nice to people. We're not going to change that aspect of it. It just definitely we maybe not be the best judge of character. The problem is everyone that approaches us gives us their best self. And so it's very hard to try and weed that out. And you know what? I don't want to be that, and I don't want to have that person. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to have that perspective on when I meet people. I don't want to come off and be. I'll be warm and welcoming. And if you have a bad day, you have a bad day. It's not my problem.
Yeah. Do you think that there's any way that Sandoval makes his way back into this friend group?
Listen, that's up to them. I stepped out, as you saw in that conversation, because it's not my place to say anything. These guys have had 15 years of friendships. I've been around for 4. I'm in no position to have a conversation about this. For them, it's up to them.
Yeah. Do you feel like they were in love? And do you think that they're still together? Based on her sending the postcards that you guys talked about as well?
I have no idea about any of that, to be honest. I really don't. And that's not my relationship to deal with it. All I know is Ariana is doing well, and people rallied behind her. And I think to take her out of all of this, the silver lining was we are good people at heart, and the world came together to show Ariana that support. And hopefully other people can get that message, be the good person, because being the bad person doesn't win. We promise you that. Good would prevail.
Definitely. That they're saying that there's this big reunion secret. I mean, do you have any guesses as to what it is? And then
I know everything.
Do you?
I have no idea what it is. I mean, honestly, no one really saw any of this coming, so no one really knows what's coming, So it's going to be a surprise to everybody. We haven't even seen the next episode. They're holding it for everybody to see worldwide, or everyone to see it at the same time.
Right. They're saying that once this comes out, people may have a hard time signing back on the show. Is there anything that you could think that would make you and Scheana not want to come back?
I mean, yeah, if they don't pay them. If they don't pay them properly, but I have no idea. It's not my world. Honestly, I learned very quickly after season 9. I think my best place is by Scheana's side, not in front of her, by her side, and support her however that means, going through filming and going through all of this. And I think that's the same for all the cast. They ultimately are friends for 15 years, so they're just going to support each other. And they've just made the most iconic TV show, period, because they are so real and they are vulnerable and they are open. None of this is scripted, and I don't know why. Maybe people can see the emotion that you're getting from this season. It's all real. Yeah. So, yeah.
Raquel said in her interview with Andy that she's unsure if she'll come back. Do you want her to come back? Do you would you want to film with her again, or do you think that would be difficult?
Honestly, again, my position is next to Scheana, and whatever they choose to do, I support that, because it's not worth going upsetting my wife and having an opinion about this when I don't need to have an opinion. So it's up to them.
Yeah. And then finally, out of everything that has come out from Sandoval, there's been a tidal wave of information. What's the one thing that surprised you the most or shocked you the most?
The fact that my partners, Sophia and Nicole, are going to leave me and go work for Athletic Freak. No, I'm actually stoked for them. I think that was the biggest one, was just a reminder of my time is precious. And, I'm going to take myself out of that and put it back into my business and focus on what I do best, and that's running our family and focusing on my business ventures.
Well, Brock, I'm so excited to chat with you about Homebody, because big news, that is being acquired after 3 years. Congratulations. What does this mean to you? This has to be so exciting.
I think honestly, it's exciting. It's something that we're working towards. We didn't know what the vision was for Homebody as we came together. We knew what we wanted to do, which was help creators. And then along that journey with Sophia and Nicole, we really started building momentum and then really leveraging everything we had and putting our effort into this first time around as a startup. To come out the other end with an acquisition is kind of like, it's a goal, ultimate goal. A lot of startups don't even make it off the ground. So for the fact that we got off the ground, we got to where we are, it's just pretty cool. It speaks for itself, really.
Yeah, and to do this in 3 years, it's pretty incredible. I mean, for those that don't know what Homebody is, what exactly is it, and how did you guys come up with this idea?
Yeah, honestly, it was born during the pandemic, obviously, when we looked at a way for creators to monetize themselves. For me as a fitness professional working in the space, it was very difficult to build a brand when there was so much free content out there. And this became a time when people started, supporting creators. So it started off as a platform for fitness and wellness creators to go ahead and monetize from their own abilities. And it kind of grew into an online community where during the pandemic, people started looking for resources and kind of figuring out other ways to stay connected, stay healthy. And then Homebody just kind of fitted in there really well, especially with the name. It kind of just really was very quite simplified with that. So there was a great opportunity to get into the market, and then here we are.
Yeah. What's your favorite feature of Homebody?
Honestly, I think it's just the connection aspect where you can actually connect with a coach and then have them be there with you. It's the closest thing to getting you in the room with somebody. I wasn't the biggest believer going into this about like, how do we connect with a client? Can we actually, I can walk into a room and you can feel my energy. Can I deliver that through a call? Can I deliver that through online coaching? And you know what? You can, you really can. And all you got to do is be there, support a client, and by doing that and giving them the tools to succeed, it's actually probably fundamentally better for them as a client because they build their own self-confidence from that connection as well.
That's awesome. What is your workout routine like?
Look, it used to be heavily when I'm going to put my hand up. It used to be heavily great when I was in a team environment because I was doing it for everybody else. Dad mode now, I've got the father figure on point, and it comes, every now and then but no, I have a good workout 3 times a week minimum. But it's just finding our routine, and being a new parent the last 2 years has been very difficult. I've been comfortable. I've been very happy. And then what comes from that is complacency and then not being consistent. So honestly, my workout is consistency and trying to figure that out as well.
Do you feel like Homebody makes people more accountable as well?
Yeah, it simplifies that aspect. You don't have to, okay, how far do you have to go to be motivated? Oh, I can connect with an influencer or someone that motivates you already through the app, and they're going to be jumping on at this time. And it's not just like it's not just a live class. It's also integrated with our software, which has the actual widget capabilities. So now you actually have a timer. It tells you what you're doing, and the coach is there live. So it's not just the coach trying to yell at you. It's constructed, it's precise, and it's condensed, which makes it easier to follow.
I love that. What type of workouts will you get? Are you kind of like all over? Are you strength? Are you, running? Are you cardio? Is it kind of like a mix of everything?
Yeah, so Homebody, the platform and our software for Homebody, it allows for any creator with any niche that they focus on to deliver and connect with their following through that way. So it could be anything from yoga, Pilates, to Zoom, to dance workout, to bar, and then all the way to isolated strength workouts as well. So it's up to the creator and their vision and kind of their creativity and what they want to deliver to their clients. And then the clients get that aspect of their niche marketplace or whatever they're looking for is there.
I love that. Do you and Chyna like to work out together, or do you not go to the gym together?
Listen, I'm a big fan of trying to motivate, but I think we've figured out the best way to save our relationship is that let's handle that separately, because I am a very intense person when it comes to training. I always move, I kind of like push with the move with purpose. Chyna's very kind of like, I'm going to take a break. And so I'm like, listen, I think it works better if we do our separate workouts.
Yes, that's like my husband and I. We cannot be in the gym together. It's just a fight all the time.
It's a normal thing. Yeah.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.